Seriously? Hi guys, what's up? It's Ashlyn and I guess Serenity 2 here to share with you what we read. Yes, what we read in February. I have some of the books right here that were some from my physical TBR, and then there are some that were not on my TBR, and there's some that were from the library and they are now long gone. So I'm going to pull up this Goodreads on my phone because it's the same one, but I want to make sure that I correspond correctly to what I'm talking about, if that makes any sense. So, give me a second. If you do look at my stats right now, I'm at 32 of 50 books. Don't you dare jump up there and knock all that glass down. You play with your ball or you lay down. Sorry. Life of having a cat. Okay, so I guess what we'll do is we'll start from the beginning. So the first one we have here is I'll Be Gone in the Dark, One Woman's Obsessive Search for the Golden State Killer by Michelle McNamara and Gillian Flynn, I believe. Possibly. Okay, and this was a Goodreads Choice 2018 winner. Now, let me see if it'll let me do it. Oh, it's gonna let me do it, maybe? Yes, no, yes. I gave it 4 stars. I want to see if it has my review on here. Oh, yep. My review is right here. Let's see. I said, a whirlwind of a book, a crazy chase that deals with all the victims of the Golden State Killer that are on document. I guarantee not all were ever located. From 1976 to 2014, such a gruesome, gory, and disturbing story, but I have a special love for serial killer stories, so I was on the edge of my seat wanting more. Now, if you're like me and you share the love for serial killers, for some apparent reason you don't know what it is about them, or you do know what it is about them, but you obsess over them, this would be a book for you to read. It's 352 pages. It was published February 27th of 2018. I finished it February 3rd. So that is the first book I finished. Next, I have Wonderland Volume 1 by Raven Gregory. So I can get to it. This is basically like an adult version of Wonderland, I guess I could say, is how I would describe it. And I just realized this does not show everything. Then I had a NetGalley release audio of Passerby, a psychological thriller by Britney King. Now, if you guys don't know anything about Britney King, she is fantastic. Okay, let me tell you right now. Her book was 269 pages. It was published July 22nd of 2021. And if I click here, I can go to my review. And my review does contain spoilers. So if you don't want to know about this, skip ahead until I pop up the next book, okay? All right. So mine was I received this audiobook in response to my honest opinion from NetGalley. My opinions are true and fully my own. From the very beginning, Passerby grabs your attention. That's the author Brittany King for you. She knows how to grab your attention from page 1. Page 1 starts off with a double murder. Our MC is worried about the guests in the garden coming upstairs and finding the bodies, so she takes the time to clean up the murder, which makes me wonder how she knows how to do so. That's the first question I found myself asking. The MC finds a young female in the bushes with her dress up and expects the worst. The girl is alive and looks to be about 15. All the MC was doing was walking by. We find out via a discussion between 3 women that our MC is Ruth, who was wishing to be anonymous throughout Jester Falls, and the young girl from the bushes is Ashley. This is important for later. A third woman approaches the girl awkwardly, and we find Ruth and her no I can't remember what I said. Her known one another Gabriella or Gabby. Have you ever walked by a situation that you felt you should intervene with? I know I have, but most don't. Well, here's a story that starts off explaining what exactly a passerby is. Ashley is very good at grasping men's attention, almost reminds me of a VC Andrews character. Ashley pulls the damsel in distress card just about any chance she can, even with Ruth's brother. As time goes on and more people see this mysterious Ashley woman who seems to have appeared overnight, nobody in town knows who she is. Things become very off about her. Some men on the street refer to her as Caitlin. Could they be mistaken, or is she using an alias? If so, why? Then all of a sudden, multiple men who have called her by this other name end up disappearing and later bodies just start appearing. This is very different for Jester Falls. Then we find out the truth because the book tells us towards the end how it all started before the beginning. Ruth and her family run a bed and breakfast in a town called Jester Falls where everyone knows everything about everyone. Ruth's brother brings home a stranger he found on the side of Route 78, and upon bringing her to the bed and breakfast, she refuses to leave. Then guests start disappearing. There is a party being held because the bed and breakfast is being sold soon, and then we find out the craziest thing yet. The reason Ruth knows how to clean up blood is because she works as a crime scene cleanup crew member. This book throughout was a whirlwind or wild ride. I found myself needing more answers than what I received. I could not put this book down, well, metaphorically speaking, since it was an audio version. If any of the above synopsis intrigues you, then start reading Passerby, because this is more there's more that unravels the end, and the ending will have you speechless. And who knows, you might just end up not liking the MC Ruth and fall for that innocent girl from the bushes, Ashley, or is it Caitlin? Like, I loved this book so much. I gave it 5 stars. I think it was my only 5-star book of February. So, yeah, it's pretty great. All right. I'm really hoping that this is working properly because I will be so mad if it's not. Next, I read, I think that just to save time, I'll just talk briefly about it. Next, I read How to Break a Boy by Lori DeVore, and this one was really good too. It's 342 pages. It was published January 31st, 2017, and I gave it 4 stars. Basically, this is a school setting. I feel like I'll say too much, so all I'm going to say is enemies to lovers and friends to enemies. A journey about finding your own self and your own voice, but definitely a great read. And it's a school setting. And I don't know why, but this year I really got into the whole school setting situation. Really strange to me, but it was. Next I did, you can't see it on here, that's weird. Next, I did The Dead Queens Club by Hannah Capin. This was on my backlist TBR actually, and I gave it 4 stars as well. It's 464 pages and was published January 29, 2019. Again, another school setting. It's supposed to be a fake murder situation, and then it turns into a real murder situation. That's not giving anything away either. Then I read A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas, and let's just say there's so much to say, but I only gave it 3 stars. But it was, I don't even know how many pages. It doesn't tell me. And I did not write a review for it, so that's interesting. Then I read, try to remember the order of these. The Rumor Game by Daniela Clayton. It's 480 pages. It comes out March 1st of 2022, so here in a couple days. Last updated, I finished on February 12th. It was really, really good. If you want to know my review, you can always follow me at goodreads.com/catmama18, I believe, right? Maybe. I don't know. I'm a little confused. Then I read The Sexy Librarian's Big Book of Erotica. This is a bunch of short stories that are very erotic. I mean, very erotic. There was one about a remote control vibrator that, like, hooked up onto you in a weird way. Like, it suctioned itself to you and you couldn't remove it. It was pretty interesting. That was 336 pages, and it was by Rose Caraway and multiple other authors as well. Then I read The Day from Hell by Gwenda Bond. That comes out April 5th of 2022. That was also a NetGalley release. Um, basically, she's human. He's the son of the devil, or the king of the underworld, or whatever. So it's a whirlwind of fun. Then I read Reminders of Him, which you don't even see up here either. What the hell? So weird. Anyway, I read Reminders of Him by Colleen Hoover, and unfortunately, as much as I wanted to give this 5 stars, I gave it 4 stars. But it was so good. It came out January 18th of 2022. It was 335 pages. If you're a fan of Colleen Hoover, you're going to love this book just as much as I did as well. I did not do a review for it. Then I read this wonderful one right here called Conversations with People Who Hate Me by Dylan Marin. I did not like this one. I gave it 3 stars. I did not find it hilarious. I did not find it funny. It was like, I don't know. It was interesting. Basically, I said, so here comes the unpopular opinion. I did not really like this book. Some parts were funny, but most of it was controversial. This book happens to be more of a dark humor sense. With that being said, thank you, Nicolay, for allowing me a Kindle ebook version in response to an honest review. I give this 3.5 stars. This was supposed to be read as a podcast type book. However, I did not feel that in the slightest. The writing wasn't my favorite when expecting a podcast setup. Dylan, as a diverse main character, was excellent, using his negative feedback from viewers as a comedy skit. Different, bringing a political aspect into comedy, not my favorite. Unfortunately, I just feel like the writing wasn't properly done, and I am never one for making fun of religion or political views in comedy skits. The one thing I found to be very smart and intriguing was taking the negative feedback and turning it into a skit. However, I do not agree with sharing screenshots of said people's conversations without their approval. I feel like that was some sort of broken law or invasion of privacy. However, I didn't hate it. I am a sucker for comedians, so some parts I found to be very enjoyable. I feel, though, this book is more for those who enjoyed that dark humor aspect. There will, as I said, be talk about religion, political views, but there also was talk about stalking, profile stalking, stalking in general, homophobia, and many other things that may be a trigger to a select few. Read at your own risk. I hope you were to find this more enjoyable than I did. And I really wanted to enjoy it. It sounded really great, but I mean, he just did more of an invasion of privacy, and I understand all the stuff that he got to make his skits out of these negative comments and things was literally from these people on a social media platform. However, I still do not agree with it. So I apologize for being the unpopular opinion. Next, however, I did I don't even know if I'm recording, you guys. Oh, I am recording. Okay. I just want to make sure I was recording because like everything's missing and I'm like spinning. Anyway, next I did Dear Teen Me, authors write letters to their teen selves. This is just like a bunch of different writers and things like that. I thought it was really good, enjoyable. It really gives you a view into some of, their lives and stuff. Like I learned a lot actually about my favorite person, which is Emma Hawkins. Get your butt out of the view. I'm trying to find it because there's actually a picture of her too. And some people actually talked through like skits and things like that, which I thought was really fun too. Maybe. Oh no, where'd it go? I'm trying to find it, but I cannot find it. The really cool thing too about this is I got it from my local library in the free section, and it's actually autographed by the editor of stuff. Oh, here we go. So, as you guys see, this is actually Ellen Hopkins right there when she was younger. And her thing talks about a lot. Like, hers is super duper long. It's like 5 pages. But I read every single part of it. I read every single author in here. And just it gives you more of an opening understanding as why they write the way that they do. And Ellen Hopkins one is like the most emotional one that I read in here, and I'm really glad I did. So, alright, next. We got Now That You Mention It, and my cover is different from what they show on Goodreads. So probably because I bought it from a convenience store instead. But this is Now That You Mention It by Kristen Higgins. This book was really good as well. It was 416 pages, and it doesn't say when it was done. My rating was 4 stars again. And it was just a really good time. And mine actually has some little extra things that I don't know what the hell this is. Oh, the little survey things, yeah. This is a little. Anyway, next I did See Me Forgotten by Jessica S. Olsen. This is basically forbidden romance and a Phantom of the Opera retelling, and I really enjoyed it. It was alright. It wasn't the best. I gave it 4 stars. It's 336 pages, and it was published March 19th, 2021. I did get this out of one of my subscription boxes, my book subscription boxes. I don't remember which one, but I believe it's signed. Yeah, mine is signed. So I can't remember which box it was from. I want to say it was probably like Spearcraft because that's where I got a lot of my books at one point, especially like that. Then next we had Our Kind of Cruelty. I gave this 3 stars. I really wanted to give it 2 stars, but the writing was really good, and I loved the aspect of it being set in a courtroom. Basically, after they tell their story and stuff, it then goes into a courtroom, and it's a court case, and it's played out as a court case, and it's really, really good. Like so it's 275 pages. It came out May 8th, 2018. It was from my backlist. You see that crappy sticker, ignore that. But this is Arminita Hall. I never heard of Arminita Hall. This was really, really good though. It was kind of like a married couple that's swingers, but they take their swingerness to the next level, and she gets a whole nother man and is trying to divorce him to be able to marry this new man, and then like a murder happens, and it's so good. It was really good. I will give it that. It was very, very good, and it was hard to put down. And I don't know, I never knew I was a sucker for that kind of stuff. Next, I have Sea of Strangers by Lane Leave. This is poetry and prose, and this is from the library. I gave it 4 stars. It's 224 pages long, and it's kind of emotional. I did not do a review for it. I thought I did for some reason, but I did not. It was emotional. It's basically this was the one that was from my blind date with the book, and this was actually really, really good. I believe it was having to deal with. Do you remember Serenity? What this book dealt with? Wasn't it like grieving a loved one or something like that? I believe so. That's what I got when I read it. And I read it super fast. It's literally like 1 page. You can see that. It's literally just like 1 page. There's nothing on the other page. 1 page each. But it was so good, so fun. Quick little read. So these are out of order, but I read Bring Me Back by B.A. Paris, 291 pages, published June 19, 2018, and I just recently read it. This was so good. It talks about like Russian dolls, and it talks about like stalking, and what else? How else did it go? It was something about my review's coming soon. I don't have my review up yet. I'm still working on it, tweaking it, making it sound perfect and eligible. If you want to know my full review on it, that's fine. I gave it 4 stars. I love B.A. Paris's books. They grab your attention from page one. This one was about like an abduction, and then it was like an entire decade, and something, or no, wait, 12 years later, she possibly comes back. So, yeah. And then the last one I read is All the Bright Places by Jennifer Niven. I gave this 5 stars. This was heartwarming, lovely. You'll understand why I said lovely. As you see, I did enjoy it very, very much. My cat heads are poking out. It deals a lot with this one. Would have been really good for Mental Health Awareness Month as well. It was published January 6, 2015, and it's got 378 pages. Oh my god. Soon to be a major motion picture. It is a major motion picture now. I actually read this pretty quickly. I read this in, I think, like a matter of 4 days. And that's only because I have to work and I have to sleep and I have to, eat and live and do other things outside of reading. So, but I did a pretty good job of everything I did read. But with that being said, this book it tore at my heartstrings, y'all. It tore at my heartstrings. I love this book so much. I understand why there's so much hype about it, and I cannot tomorrow my mother and I are doing a video chat and we're watching the movie that is on Netflix of All the Bright Places, and I'm so excited for it because now I'm going to understand it more, and I can compare what was in the book to what's in the movie. And oh my gosh, there are just so many things in here, all the different like suicide facts, and then at the end what's going to happen. You just have this gut feeling no matter what. You have this gut feeling. And I was right. And just because it was predictable but not predictable, it could have been either one of them. Just saying. But I was right. I really was. It's the story of a boy called Finch and a girl named Violet, and it's just so beautiful. It's unbelievable because they weren't really enemies. They just didn't really know each other. They didn't clash. They didn't like each other very much, but they weren't enemies. And they were from different viewpoints in school, I guess, like cliques or whatever. Beautiful, heartwarming, lovely. And you will understand why I say lovely the way that I do later on. Please read it. Please, 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 if you get the chance to pick this up, read it. And Jennifer Niven, I cannot wait to try your other books. There's one called Holding Up the Universe, which I believe I have on my shelf, or I did have at some point, and for some reason I felt like maybe it was not going to be my cup of tea. But it is. It totally is. So, there's that. So, I read a lot of books for this month. I read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I read 18 books. And 8 of those were actually from my shelves. So I call that a win. However, there are books I did not get to. And I will show you the books that I did not get to because they're going to go into their own pile and roll over and maybe make it into a category later on. So I did not get to... Oh, wait. I don't know how to do this. Okay, whatever. I did not get to Creep Over, You Can't Come In Here, book 2, but I was probably going to read it probably tomorrow, to be honest. I was thinking about, there's a couple of books I am still working on from this that I need to finish. I got Mary Higgins Clark, I've got My Eyes on You, did not get to. Her One Mistake by Heidi Perks, and I believe I've read this, but I'm going to see. But I did not get to. Ilsa Madden Mills's I Hate You. I did not get to. Love and Other Sins by Amelia Ayres. I did not get to. Good Me, Bad Me by Allie Land. I did not get to. Another Mary Higgins Clark, Kiss the Girls and Make Them Cry. I did not get to. And finally, Everything We Didn't Say by Nicole Bart. I did not get to. So, I mean, I did a pretty decent job. I have, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I did half, okay? So I got half done, and I got half off my shelves, and then I got 18 altogether. So that's pretty freaking good, actually, for the outcome. But I'm also a mood reader, so I guess I wasn't into all that other lovey-dovey moody crap. So I'm just gonna leave those there. I am working on Stag still. That's pretty good. I'm about 200 pages in, so that's almost finished. And then I did start reading Tied with Me by Kristen Proby, which is a reread for me, so I don't really care too much about it. So there's those two. And I think that's everything. I believe that's everything that I need to still finish. So 2 books out of that I did not complete. That's really not that bad. So I wonder what you guys how you guys did on your reading wrap up. I would love to see your videos. I hope that you enjoy this, and I will see you in the next video. I love you guys so much. Don't look at me like staring at me all weirdly. I'm just waiting for those.